How do we even start this? Talk about episode 21 through 40.
Hi.
Hey.
I wasn't ready.
Say something.
Oh, we're starting?
Yeah, this is happening.
Oh.
We're doing a recap of episodes 21 through 40, so we're going to give you some fun facts about all the episodes. We'll answer some questions that you guys asked, maybe some that I wrote down. So here it goes. Episode 21. This guy named John Kuenning.
You said it right.
And he was from a band called Your Last Chance. No longer though, unfortunately. But you guys got a fun fact about that guy?
In the questionnaire, he talked about his grandma throwing her bra.
But is it true?
The world will never know.
we need the video of it. Video or it didn't happen. All right, 22. We have silent. What does that say?
Shebe.
Oh, Shebe, Jeremy Shave. I'll give you my fun fact. We matched for that episode. He happened to wear a black and white striped shirt, and I just happened to have a black and white striped shirt.
I thought you meant Tinder for a second.
Oh yeah, we definitely matched on Tinder.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
23. Silence is madness. They dressed up.
Yeah, we had to record that and all like with Jeremy Schaefer and them and all one day, and they like I wasn't expecting it, and like you were recording and I went to answer it, and they were in very fancy suits, and I think it was like Beatles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, it threw me off.
You didn't tell them there was a show here? They just showed up like that?
Yeah.
Oh. No. Fun fact about them, they rang the doorbell during the podcast, so if you listen back to 22, you can hear it.
True.
Ding dong!
And we're all like...
Right in the middle of Jeremy talking!
You can actually see Tyler like look at me like... So...
Get it. Episode 24, Cali, Indiana. So Cali, Indiana was suggested. Might have been the first suggestion by you, right?
Yes.
Yes. So she
It was
knows
my first band.
Joey, which is the...
Guitarist. It's guitarist.
Yeah.
It's a guitarist. Sorry,
Okay.
Joey.
So she hooked me up with Cali, Indiana. That's actually the first country band that we've had on the podcast, which it was very exciting to have somebody outside of our normal genre of like hardcore or heavy stuff, and learned a lot from those guys.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, they're a good set of people. So.
25 is Austin and Connor from Band Better.
All right, that episode.
It was insane.
I have never laughed so
Yeah.
hard. Like
We had a guest, didn't we? We had a whole room of guests.
Yeah, and they had highlighters, and I give them something, and they use it as a prop, even though like they weren't going. Like I didn't think they were going to. Like, and it turned into almost like the Connor and Austin show.
Yeah.
It wasn't even our
Honestly.
podcast anymore.
Yeah, it was
It was good.
hilarious. Good.
I liked it.
Good.
One of my favorites for sure. 26. Does that say 26?
Yeah.
Caleb, Drama the artist is what his name is, as far as like his artist name goes. He's the first rapper we had on the podcast, and actually the first one we did over Zoom. So he's actually from Lincoln.
He's the first pandemic
The first pandemic
episode.
episode.
Ooh.
Good episode though. First rapper we had on the podcast as well.
Yeah. Good conversation.
27, Jacob Parsons from this day forward. from. I always hate saying like from.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
You
sense.
said that in Spencer's podcast too.
So what are we
I
supposed to say?
remember.
What?
Of from the state.
Of
forward.
from this day forward.
Wait.
Is he-
It doesn't matter.
Wait, what? We're
talking Jacob Parsons. We can't
Oh.
say you can't
Oh.
go like from this day forward.
Oh, you would be like,
Of.
you just pause. I feel like you would be like
From.
Jacob Parsons, you know, and in from this day forward.
Okay.
In.
That's our fun fact.
No, he was really fun.
First bassist.
Yeah, and his dad was a musician, so we talked a lot about learning the way to be a musician in the entertainment.
From his daddy-o
And
world.
he's done quite a bit of bands. He's like, I think he's 20, and so he's done a lot, and he's actually super smart business wise. So he's really good at managing band.
Shout out Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
Ooh, this one is big. 28. Okay, so 28 is.
Stood up tall.
Yeah, 28.
Stood up tall.
Tyler Tate. So Tyler Tate is the vocalist of Hollow From, a band that I've been following for like 4 years. And the reason why this is so important to me is because you never know how things are gonna happen. I just happened to, I guess, DM him one day because I had, let's see, we went to dinner after a show when they came to Omaha, and I kept in contact with them, and I was like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? And he said yes, which is crazy because I never thought like a band that had been following for that long would just be like so accepting. So it definitely meant a lot to me. That's the first like big band that I've had on the podcast, and they are growing rapidly. So if you haven't checked out Holofront, please do yourself a favor.
New album is Loose Threads.
Ooh.
It's super good. 29. Sean Sorensen, Devin Details.
Ooh. So Sean Sorensen, yeah, him and I go way back. And it was nice to have him because I haven't spoke to him, I guess, in person like 3 or 4 years. So when you suggested, Sean, yeah?
Which we've actually, him and I, used to be a bank teller. And
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I remember those days when he's in What Was Within, so way back.
Yep.
Known the guy forever.
But yeah, that's why I know him. So.
You're like, yeah, let's have this bank teller in the show.
Yeah.
That's what you said?
It's pretty cool.
No, I was
Pretty cool
I
bank
was
teller.
the bank teller.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Mm.
I want like
You were his bank teller?
yeah, but I
Oh.
don't want to
Got
like
it.
say where or when.
I thought
don't
you were
really
saying
know.
he
Yeah,
was a bank teller.
That's what I thought too. I was like, I don't think Sean's a bank teller.
Sean is not a bank teller.
Okay, let's
Fun fact, he's not a bank teller.
Okay, there we go. Ooh, what's this?
30. Peter Barnes.
30. Peter Barnes. Okay,
Returns.
Peter Barnes returns because he was on episode 7.
I was like-
Say it. Come on. He's on episode 7. The reason why this was big for us, this was the first time somebody had premiered, I guess, a clip or a song on the podcast, which really meant a lot to me that he would reach out to me and say, hey, we've got something in store.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Was
So,
it Sharpness? Or
yeah, Sharpness.
Sharpness is the single? Yeah.
Great bop right there, baby.
Yeah, I was actually. It's my favorite song that like honestly of theirs.
So far.
Yeah.
It just,
They just put another one out.
yeah.
Yeah. I think they just recorded a music video too.
Yeah.
Give me a
definitely.
second. Amenity Crisis.
There you
Got
go.
you. Got you.
We just have been better on 3 times, so that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Peter.
They're regulars.
Peter. We have Peter. Well, I guess Peter, and then Austin and Connor, and then Peter. But fun fact, we've had Graham Muhlenberg on, who just joined the band this year,
Oh, yeah.
but he was on back with
a K.
With a K.
Oh.
That's a fun fact. Little hidden egg or whatever they call that in movies.
Then, speaking, oh, that wasn't even speaking.
Yeah,
of.
speaking
But
of.
on episode 31, we had Tyler Lewis,
Yeah,
and then Taylor, what's his last name?
Rosenthal.
Rosenthal.
Yeah, Tyler Lewis had been on the podcast once before with my good boo Jeff, and we felt like he needed to be on again. Tyler's a very great drummer. Taylor had just joined the band Downhearted, and be on the lookout for Downhearted. The clips they're putting out showing their new music. Oh my god. That's probably like, yeah, that's probably the band I'm most looking forward to seeing once shows come back, for sure. What's this one? 32. Devin Attard. My baby. My baby. My little baby boy.
I wasn't there for that one. That was the one I missed.
He commented on my drum set. I felt this funny. I mean, he just mostly said, "Is that your drum set?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'm like,
You're like, I felt special, not that special. But I did.
Yeah, it is. That is my drum set. What do you want to say about it? No, the reason why Devin is big, he's actually an inspiration to me. He's only 20 years old. He hates the fact that people comment about like how young he is.
yeah.
But the fact that he's 20, he's taking over social media, sharing clips, he's putting out videos. Like, the amount of control he has over all the stuff that he puts out, incredible for a 20-year-old. So, props to Devin.
You're like, he hates how when people bring up his age.
But
20.
20. Get your life together, he's 20. 20. Bakmai. Yeah, you want to speak on this one?
Oh.
Let me put my hair back. Oh, Bakmai.
He's cute. It's actually how we technically met, technically through Deanna as well, but I always knew who he was, and I worked with him on Maha and stuff like that, but I never really officially met him. But then I met him through the podcast. He started hanging out, and now we're together. Surprise! So I guess the podcast is
Matchmakers.
I know the podcast is literally the reason why Bakmai and I are dating.
Shed a tear. Shed a fake tear.
I'm making it podcast official.
Oh shit.
It's a whole other
it's
level.
getting serious, guys.
Dang.
It's really awkward.
What's the next one?
Kyle and Isaiah from No Loss, No Regrets.
No Loss, No Regrets.
Yes.
Has a new drummer by the name of Garrett Mumford. He's got one of the best mustaches in the game.
Yeah.
And
He's got a beard
He
now.
also
It's
is
like-
very good at singing Party in the USA. And if anyone wants to watch that video, he sang it at my birthday party, and it is the best thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
I need to see this.
I will show you.
Okay.
Okay.
I promise I will.
Scared of the Dark, 35.
My baby's scared of the dark.
Oh yeah, you get it, this one.
Okay,
'Cause you-
listen guys.
you're his
Taylor,
friends.
Brandon, Jake, and Chris. Love you guys. You guys mean the world to me.
Should we leave?
Yeah, let me just... Listen guys. If I wouldn't have met you on that day, when I talked to Chris about his cool drum little part there, we wouldn't have been friends. But I did, right? And I said, Chris, it's cool when you go... And then look at us now. I did a guest vocal spot in a show in Sioux City, Iowa, because I maintained a friendship with you guys. Because I talked to Chris at that one show. And see you guys soon.
I appreciate that your talking about Scared of the Dark was way more intimate than me talking about my own boyfriend. Like, you were definitely...
It got real.
Yeah, it got real. Like, I was like, yeah, and you're like...
Listen.
Hey, babe.
Listen, if the bed only fit 4 people, I would fit and be the 5th member. That's how much I love these guys. I do love them.
I hear you.
I do.
Yeah, I do. I hear you.
Love you, Scared of the Dark.
36. Bailey. Bailey's hilarious.
Oh.
She's a sweetheart.
Bailey writes such good music.
Oh, I know.
I am...
There's so many. I don't know. So I
She has
first
cool
saw
hair.
her.
Like, I mean, of course her music's great, but she has cool hair.
It's true.
She dresses really cool.
Who had
Like,
Yeah,
Jessica
she has a
Biel.
good aesthetic in general.
if I dress like that, I wouldn't.
I did, because I first saw her at one of Fox shows.
That's right.
Slow Down. And it was like last winter. It was like a Christmas themed show. And I saw her.
Who's Bachman?
I don't know, I've never heard of them. But her to her, and I liked her right after that show, and then 6 months, I don't know how many.
6 months later, she's on the
What
podcast.
year is it? Yeah, I am like, hey, you seem like a good fit. So,
Bailey Show. Love your music.
37 is Goosehound.
Their drummer is a good friend of mine. Met him through Yoga for Cats, like at one of their shows, at a house show. They were super funny, and like it was like,
Really.
and it like they're very like caring, and they're very awesome guys. So, and their band is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's all I got.
Goosehound is so good. When I heard about you guys, I'll speak directly to you guys again. Zone out. When I first heard you guys, I was like, the recording is so pro. I even showed it to my friend Jeff, who's, you know, he's a critic. But he loved the instrumental sets. And I do too. All of you guys are like really dope at music, and I can't wait to hear music moving forward. Kisses.
38, your boys.
Oh, my boys.
The boys.
Okay, we'll start with the bad news first. So, on episode 38, we found out Steven and Matt left the band Keeper of the Morgue. But they've got a new project called Peacemaker, and Peacemaker is going to take over Omaha. Let me tell you,
It's really good.
it is so good.
Let me tell you. It's good.
Let me tell you, Panin. It's so good. If you haven't followed Matt McClure and Stephen Hoshaw on Facebook or Instagram, go do yourself a favor and follow those guys because they put out clips of their songs on Facebook Live. They'll record anything. They're just too talented.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you meet them, they'll treat you like you've been friends with them for years. Like Matt McClure and I met up like just because I needed some help with some recording, and like now he's like one of my closest guy friends. So like it's crazy how friendly and awesome they are and welcoming. Mm-hmm. So you need a friend.
Yeah, Matt McClure is definitely.
And Stephen, is it
Hoshaw. Matt McClure is definitely the OG. He was the first one to ever comment on one of my podcast videos, and because of that, we're friends now. So crazy how things like that work.
39. She just released her latest song called Sticks and Stones today.
Oh God.
At midnight.
What can we say about
today? Is also September 4th.
Yeah.
So
this won't come out for a while.
Yeah. As I say, I don't know the date anymore. That song though, Sticks and Stones, I downloaded. Okay, the last 2 songs I downloaded, your song, her song. That's how I start off in the morning. I hit Spotify, Sticks and Stones, Medusa, and it just sets off my day. Beautiful music, beautiful people, Papa John's.
And lastly,
stop.
Is Magoo.
Magoo. Okay, so fun fact about them. 2 of the members that are in Earn are also in Magoo, and they write some dope shit.
Really good.
I shouldn't have
We
cussed
just
that.
have a lot of good musicians in Omaha. I'm just gonna breeze on past it, guys. We got a lot of good musicians
do.
in Omaha.
Yeah, we
and
do.
Council Bluffs.
We sure
There's
do.
a lot.
Who had brought up Magoo? Well, I guess who had brought up Earn? Who knows her?
I know Erin.
Yeah.
Through Maha.
I met her.
Gotcha.
I met her. She and I were side stage at Matt and Kim's show on Maha 2019. She offered me a beer, and I was like, "Yeah." I was drunk. I was like, "Yeah," and like she was just like. And then later on, I figured out who she was, even though I knew all her stuff and all of that. But I was, like, I was just enjoying the concert, and we just vibed off of it, and we've been friends since.
She's so nice.
She's the nicest, most talented. Okay, I have lots of nicest, most talented friends.
Zoom in right here. Speak to the camera.
So they're all
saw.
talented and nice. But
I don't know.
I'm so awkward.
It's okay.
Just say what you like about Erin. Just look at the camera.
Erin,
She's beautiful.
you're a beautiful, great
She's
person,
gorgeous.
and we appreciate you.
We're mesmerized.
Although that just got more even. Yeah.
Who's Bach Mine?
I know who's that guy.
Fuck that guy.
I love you. Sorry, Bach. I promise.
All right, we got some questions.
We're gonna have Elena tell her story here.
I'm gonna say January, February-ish area. I messaged Tyler because I am in college and I wanted to kind of get an experience and just learn a little bit about like podcasting and like musicians and kind of just seek everything, I guess, so I can grow my career in the music business industry. And I just was taking notes for a little bit and just enjoyed hanging out with them. And then I was like, hey, I have this band that I know. And then eventually I was just asked to come on. In the best way.
Listen, she's a great addition. We went out to sushi after we did our episode 20 recap, and let me tell you, she's been so essential, same as Deanna, and I'm glad to have her on the team.
Thanks, Tyler.
She's invited a lot of people onto the podcast, and if it wasn't for if it wasn't for Elena, a lot of these podcasts wouldn't happen, and that's the truth. So if you see Elena the next time, and if you like the podcast, please give her a big thanks. And give her like nuts or something if it's COVID approved. What is hosting a podcast like during the pandemic? This was from Bree De Leon. one of my good friends. What's it like hosting a podcast during the pandemic? It is tough at times because the thing with, I guess, hosting over the internet is there's a delay. You can't really read emotion off of people. And I guess it gets tricky. I'd rather have like in-person podcasts all the time. So that way I can joke around without having to be like, yeah, it's so funny. Ha ha ha.
We need laugh
The
tracks.
social
Yeah.
disconnect.
But
Yeah.
I will say though, we because we had so many people available because no one was working, we were able to pull a lot more
Sure.
artists in
Sure.
and from different places, and we can broaden.
Hashtag Tyler Tate, Devin.
Exactly.
Scared
of
the
the
dark.
dark.
Yeah, my babes. My friend Logan Hoffman asks, are there any plans to travel with the podcast to other cities? I would answer, I would say not at this time because it depends on these two. I would not go anywhere if it weren't for these two. So unless those two are on board, definitely not going. Unless I go to Jeremy Schaefer's or Scared of the Dark's place.
Yeah. I mean, if you have OBS recording software, that's what I use for like streaming. You could just literally sit in front of your computer camera with everybody anywhere you're at, and it'll record.
I can go to sleep.
Yeah. Everything?
Everything. Chris from Scared of the Dark asks, he has like 3 questions. If you could have any one guest back on, who would you have? One guest.
Well, Chris, right?
I'm not gonna say Chris. That's the obvious answer. Yeah, why don't you guys answer first? Give me some time to think.
I honestly, I think
Who would you like to have back on? Peter Burns
I
again?
don't know. It's not back on.
Peter's like, hey, like,
I also like it's not back on, but I wanna do Dakota.
Oh.
Of Holofront. Like I feel like he'd be. really
Oh,
cool to
Dakota
interview.
Alvarez. Oh my god.
He's really. I had some cool photos with him from their concert, but yeah.
Dakota-
So basically, maybe a Holofront as a band.
I would-
as after
That-
this
hey,
big
hey,
album
hey,
where
hey,
they're. Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a question answer. There's a question further down. Who would you like to have back on?
honestly, because like when we had Jeremy Schaefer on, he gave really good advice, and that was pre-pandemic, like right before pandemic. So I am thinking now to get his view on how he is seeing how the pandemic has affected the music industry. He's kind of dealing with it too, like front hand. So I think he would be great to kind of, let people know what's going on.
I'm gonna kind of disregard the one guest thing. I'd love to have Cali, Indiana back on. I think they were so fun because it was out of the normal genre. They had a lot to say, and the fact that they're playing during the pandemic, like they're playing social distancing, so they're playing like in a park or they're playing in a
They
bar.
never stopped. Like they were
But
recording.
they're very business
They
oriented. And
grind.
cool.
I'd love to have these guys back on. So Cali, Indiana, if you guys see this, hit me up.
Pop into his DMs.
Yeah. Hit my DMs. This is such a silly question. Chris asks, when can we expect a movie adaptation of the podcast? And who would you cast? Who would you cast to play you?
No.
Why would there be a movie?
No.
You said Chris asked?
Yeah, Chris Shine. Who would I have? Okay, when can we expect it? Never. But who would I have play as me? Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And the follow-up question: do you think you could play them, or do you think you could beat them in golf? 100%. Benedict Cumberbatch sucks at golf
Does he? Like, how do you know that?
because his name. That's not a golfer name.
That's nameless.
You freaking
God, God, you named this him.
I would have Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd play me, or he
No,
play you?
play me.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Wait, I don't know actors.
And could you beat him in golf?
Paul Rudd.
I don't see him as a golfer.
No, I don't either.
Play me.
Elena, you
No,
have.
as a golfer though.
No, no,
Like,
no.
The follow-up part is that.
Do you think you could beat them in golf?
If I could beat Paul Rudd in golf?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely not. You've never seen me golf. She's seen me golf. It's rough.
I didn't get invited.
Top golf.
I was gonna say I didn't get invited.
It was not our spiel.
Chris, good question.
Elena was doing homework recently. I don't know actor or actresses' names really, so I have no answer. I'm really bad
Chris
about
Pratt.
famous people.
You should have
I know
Chris Pratt
who
play
that
Devin.
is from Parks and Rec and Jurassic Park, I guess.
He was in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Do you think you could beat him in golf? I've never seen you play golf the whole time I've known you.
I'm not bad at golf. I played it in high school. I was on JV like senior year as a random thing. But
Screw the question. Can we play golf together?
yeah, let's go play golf.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
Bye, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Wow, guys.
I'm
I'm so sorry.
Free ask, what has been your biggest accomplishment this year? Fuck mine. 100%. Hooking her up with hooking her up.
Oh, that's your biggest accomplishment?
Oh, 100%.
I booked him.
Oh, I wonder why.
But I guess, yes, you asked me to get on the podcast.
Okay, biggest accomplishment so far.
I think the largest band we've had would be Holofront.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore, our biggest accomplishment.
Oh, podcast-wise, yes.
Yeah.
Not
I mean-
dating life.
Not dating life. I mean, I appreciate you. I'm very happy. Do you want to go into it?
So this is actually a conversation about Elena's relationship.
Yep.
Nothing to do with the podcast.
Off my vow.
Give me some kisses. My biggest
I'm very
accomplishment.
uncomfortable.
My biggest accomplishment would be having Tyler and Devin from Holofront on. Like I said earlier, those guys have been following for like 3 or 4 years before they even had Devin or Dakota and all those guys and Brandon. They were just starting out. The first song I ever heard was Home Wrecker, and to see them, I guess, grind it for the last 4 years and get to the top where they're at now. I mean, they'll be humble and they'll say, you know, we're not even close to the top, but they are growing rapidly. So to catch them while they're growing, that's my biggest accomplishment for sure. Connor Lord asks, ideal band interview. 100% it would be one of my favorite bands, all the way from the UK, Holding Absence. If I could have those guys on, I would die inside.
What about Sigurd?
If I said Sigurd?
Yeah.
He said.
Oh my god. I would.
He's about to cry thinking about this.
I love Sigurd so much. Sigurd's awesome. And her backup singer. I always compliment her backup singer because her backup singer hits those harmonies so well. Oh my god.
It's true. He showed me a lot of videos. I'm like, but listen to her backup singer.
Isn't that? Have you ever like heard another band where you're like, yeah, their backup singer's so good? Doubt it.
Yeah. Not something you usually recognize.
But Sigurd's backup singer? Ooh, my god, it's so good. What about you? Ideal band interview.
I got mine. Go for it. I would do probably Maggie Rogers. I know.
Did I show you? Sorry, tell you this.
It was really funny because you asked Bach if he ever heard of her.
Bowling?
Yeah,
Got
if
it.
you ever heard of her, and like it was really funny. We forgot to show you. That's his like Maggie Rogers is his background on his phone. That's
funny.
Like, have you heard of her? And he's like, I should have showed her my background is
Yeah.
Maggie Rogers.
Cool.
Definitely heard of
You guys
her.
went bowling?
It was.
I have a bowling league.
It was
on
league.
Tuesdays.
Like he just was with
She's
me.
on my team.
Oh shit.
Don't get jealous. I have a bowling league on Mondays with you. So, sir, we have shared custody.
That's what you call that shit?
I knew that she had league with you on Mondays.
You know what? The first things you told me on bowling league for Mondays. I'm not gonna drink beer in this league, so don't buy me anything.
I can't help but have other people buy me beer. Like it was not part of my plan though.
But her dad always has like a White Claw waiting for me.
Every time he has a pitcher of beer for me and a white
No.
claw for her. Every
Deanna's
time.
dad, I appreciate you. You're a good man.
Good you're watching
Gene's
this,
a good
Gene.
guy.
Gene, if you're watching this, appreciate the beer and the White Claw. You're the best.
It means a lot.
Okay.
I think I'd go with old school Haley Williams. Like, not old school, but like
Ooh.
current Haley Williams.
Oh.
You
But
spoke
like,
at a.
he's amazing. And her latest like independent album.
Yeah.
Super good.
So good. We're really reaching there.
Yeah. That's fine.
I mean, it's ideal.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
That's our next one.
Let me hit her up. Episode 41, Haley Williams. Coming right at you. Okay. Best thing about having a podcast. Let me finish the starters. Best thing about having a podcast. And what does it mean to you? So the best thing about having a podcast to me is the fact that we can reach out to pretty much anybody in the Omaha music scene, and I guess reach out further depending on, I guess, who we know as a group here. What does it mean to you? It means the world to me because I get to connect to musicians all around the world. Music is definitely a passion of mine. I play drums myself, so obviously I'm going to connect with drummers pretty hardcore. But as far as what it means to me, God, I don't know if I can put it into words. It's just so fun speaking with other musicians about like their passions, what they do, how seriously they take it, whether it's like a hobby or whether it's, you know, a career for them. I don't know how else to put it into words. It's the best thing ever. I love having a podcast about music.
I would say like too, the music scene in Omaha is just so welcoming and so great that so many of them I've hung out outside the podcast and like have really gotten to know that I've met through the podcast, and they're just great people and they're so loving and caring and they just want everyone to grow. And I mean, I know sometimes that there's like this on the any music scene, it can be in a negative aspect, but the one thing I will say is like, I mean, I've been shown nothing but great friendship through like pretty much all of these people that we've interviewed, and they've dealt with our craziness and weirdness prior to shows, but in the best way. And I'm just really grateful for all the people just that I've met in this in the podcast. I mean, I think all of us can say that, honestly.
For sure.
We love you all. We are one. We are.
All right. Question number 9. This one's pretty deep. What impact do you think the podcast has had on the Omaha music scene? You guys should answer this first. It's a hard one.
I feel like it's something that can be talked about between the bands that we've had on. So it's definitely building connections. Like, oh, I was part of that too.
Yeah.
Like, I had this experience. It's pretty cool and stuff like that.
We've had multiple bands even come over, like they just were like had nothing to do. We had that day, we had Eddie Dietz over and Brandon Rodriguez over. I mean, like, and some of them did kind of know.
I don't know if he's a musician, but like he was
Connor
hanging
Hackbart?
out. Yeah.
And then we all went to the pre-COVID. We all went to the
true.
bars, and we all hung out after that, and it was just a good time. It was actually the last time I got to go to the bar before.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think like it's, you know, I know that we're a smaller podcast, but behind the scenes, honestly, is the best part, and I wish we could. That is what I sometimes wish we could show clips of those because they're great.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
need like cameras.
Yeah, the connection, I guess, like she said, the connection behind the scenes is awesome. What you guys see on screen is obviously one thing. What you see off the screen, we joke around, we hang out for like an extra hour and a half before we start, after we end, and like she said, I've had people over after the podcast and just hang out, whether it's like a punk band or a country band or Jeremy Schaefer and Silence is Madness. Like collabing, I guess, musical minds together is one of the best things ever. So
since February of 2020, every band that has been hanging out has found out how funny I am. You're welcome.
all right, number 10. Band or bands you think that need more attention. This could be very broad. You can say like a international act. You can say whatever. I said Sigrid the last time, so I'm not gonna plug Sigrid this time.
I'm gonna do like local. I guess you could do both.
I want to do local.
Okay.
I was thinking like Bailey Tamarius.
Yeah.
Like, she's super talented. Her and Ern are like really close in my book of like the audiences that they would attract, and I feel like they both have a lot that they could offer.
Would it be biased if I said Bob?
Don't.
Like, I actually do like his
I mean,
music.
honestly,
Yeah,
he-
like, before I even dated him or even knew him, I
Yeah.
loved his music.
No, it's true. Like, his music is really
I've
good.
heard it
especially this
Like, since
latest
2017.
the latest stuff. Like, I mean, when I go and I sing, it's I've like seen his shows for like the past 4 years, but it's not just memorizing lyrics. Like, they actually mean something.
Sure.
And like, I've like noticed similarities between like his songs, the lyrics, and some of the songs I already listened to, and I'm like, huh, I'm pretty sure he got inspiration from this song. And so like finding those inspiration and those links together is really cool.
And he just loves music so
Yes.
much, and he really wants to just put out more. So, like, taking the whole dating part out of it, like, really, truly, like, he is very passionate about his music, and that he works hard, and he's working hard through the pandemic and all of that. And I just think that that's great, and I've known him his music prior. And I just think it's something you can listen to in many situations. So
It's true. Yeah.
Band, let's see, band or bands I think that need more attention. Obviously, I'm gonna plug my guys in Peacemaker. They haven't released any music yet, but like I said earlier, if you
The
follow,
podcast has some of their music
Oh.
in it. Just saying.
damn, if you follow Stephen Hoshaw or Matt McClure, you'll find just like clips of music. They're both great guitarists. They work great together. The fact that like how they met is incredible. Off of like Craigslist, or no, it's off Facebook. Omaha Finding Musicians, and who else should I plug? Cali, Indiana, obviously. I'll be honest with you, I'm not huge on huge on country music, but Cali, Indiana like hits a different spot in my heart as far as country music goes. And thanks to her, now I'm big fans of Cali, Indiana. Obviously, I'm gonna say plug every artist that we've had on.
Right.
honestly, we would be here all night.
Yeah. There's so many talent. So much talent. So many talent.
We love everybody.
Those sing-alongs for sure.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love it.
breakdowns, but like, I like singing so much.
Yeah, like everyone can, like, I don't know, people can join. There's just something about like when the whole crowd is like just singing along. It just leaves like this nice feeling of togetherness. Jukebox the Ghost.
Jukebox the Ghost.
They're they're very like you can jam out to them. But they add some really cool piano riff and great piano, and I really enjoy them.
There's this band I just discovered called Menus from Germany, I think, and they're really good. I was looking at like things that related to Rivals from California, and
great band.
Yours Truly, and there's like Crazy 88.
We are the same.
You go, Lindsay Ray.
Yes.
I should just message her. We've talked before, and I just need to message her. I'm just really bad about it.
It would be really nice if we could, I can't think of a person, but we could get somebody in the music business part.
Yeah.
That knows a lot, because I know that like I'm like when like there's a lot of great music business people here that we could have on that can talk about. I just think there's just so much information that you can. Omaha has such a bad reputation for saying that we don't have like a music scene here, but I've seen people been able to create a name. They've had to move further to bigger cities, but you just have to work hard, and like the best part is to inform. So it would just be nice to have business people for music to interview too. Not just musicians. I'm gonna say thanks, guys, for giving me this opportunity. It's been great, and a lot of good things have came out of it. Since
Who?
Oh.
I don't know that guy.
Sorry. But yeah.
Podcast good.
Yeah,
Friends
good. Yeah, friends. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Find love. Yes.
No, for real though.
Podcast the match Tinder.
Forget these guys. It's been 40 great episodes.
Forget it.
Diggin
Over
with Tinder.
Digging with Tinder.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Digging. It works.
Alright, continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
So, I don't even know where to start. So back last year, we had went over this. Deanna and I had came up with an idea to do a podcast, and it's grown to something like Omaha recognizes that this is a podcast about music and recognizing musicians, growing musicians, and that's been my goal from, I guess, the start. So for you guys to be listening along and I guess following, learning about these new musicians means the world to me. My whole goal, like I said, is to expand the music scene. Maybe you don't know about a musician like Ern, or maybe you don't know about a musician like Scared of the Dark. This is what this podcast is for. So, if you haven't tuned in, please tune in. You'll learn about the Omaha music scene. You'll learn about our regional music scene. And I hope you guys keep following along through episodes 41 through whatever. If you haven't listened to episodes 1 through 40, please take some time to find out about the musicians in Omaha and what they're up to. And it means the world to me. So I appreciate the support so far. We're going to keep going. And peace until the next time. Pinkies for fanciness. Whooper.
Almost went through my nose.
So I guess the little caption is going to say, let's find out about the girls behind the scenes. Yeah?
That sounds like a really bad porno.
Let's find out about the girls behind the scenes.
Alright. I have been working on my British accent.
Oh, shit. Hit it.
Alright, so ready? What do I say? Oh,
Would you like to come?
can I get a bottle of water?
A bottle of water?
That's better.
That's
Bottle
better.
of water. Yeah.
Water?
Of water.
Get away. Actually, I don't think
I'm really glad you saw that though. Because that was the dumbest phone drop I've ever had.
No.
That was so stupid. Bach, baby, when you see this, it's gonna look like we don't know who you are. But we do. And,
Cut.
I'm sorry, what? He knows how weird I am, so we're good. That's why he's dating.